Charter Committee, along with the media, has been putting forth all the reasons we need to make these charter changes. But let's look at the flip side. Maybe we don't need these changes. Proposition 1. Shall Section 8, term of office of the City Charter be amended to provide for 4-year staggered terms for mayor and council members? One of the problems that we may have with this proposal is the fact that we're challenged to find good candidates who are willing to run for 2 years now. How will we be able to find candidates who are willing to serve for 4 years when we can't even find them to serve for 2?
Hello, my name is H.R. Wardlaw. I'm a businessman, attorney, and former city councilman for the city of San Angelo, and I have carefully read and considered all of the proposed amendments to the city charter, which will be voted on in the next few days, and I have decided that it would be a terrible mistake for these to pass, and therefore I'm voting against all of the proposed amendments, and I'm asking all the citizens to consider voting against these amendments.
Proposition number 2. Shall Section 8, term of office of the City Charter be amended to provide term limits of 8 consecutive years, excluding partial terms for mayor or council members? If your district is being served well by a council person, why should we limit their years of service if they are ready, willing, and able to continue to serve, and the voters like the service they're providing? The power of the vote can remove them from office at any time.
Hi, I'm here to tell you that please vote no in all the charter amendments. Vote no, especially in the one about chief of police. We as the citizens of the lovely city of San Angelo, we have the right to choose a police chief. Please don't let the city tell us who is going to be our next chief. Please vote no in all the city proposition amendments. Thank you.
Proposition number 3. Shall Section 9, qualifications of the City Charter be amended to provide qualifications for candidates seeking election and for members to hold the office of council member or mayor? Include at the time of election that the person must be 18 years of age or older, must be a resident of the city for the mayor, and resident of single member district for the council member, must not be an employee of the city, must not hold any other elected office, and must comply with all conflict of interest and conflict disclosure laws. This proposition is a serious one to take a look at because there are several things that it actually removes from our current charter. It will remove the requirement for any length of residency in a district or in the city for mayor. Candidates will no longer have to be a qualified voter. That opens the door to felons, mentally unstable, and non-U.S. citizens. They can also owe the city money and have tax levies. And also, they could have contracts with the city to do work, which is an even stronger tie to the city than being employed. Yet we're saying that someone who's employed by the city cannot run for council.
After reviewing the opposed charter amendments, I do want to make sure that hopefully we can keep San Angelo a town that's more geared towards what citizens want versus what government wants. Hopefully, that being said, we can have an elected chief of police versus an appointed chief of police. And as far as the charter amendments, I vote no on all of them.
Proposition number 4. Shall Section 9, qualifications of the city's charter be amended to add a provision that any question of city council regarding conflict of interest of the mayor or of a council member be referred to the city attorney for a legal opinion? This change in our charter could actually empower the city attorney to overrule the charter, to overrule the rights of the voters. It puts the power all into the hands of the city attorney.
Well, I am against these proposed city charter changes. I feel like it's taking power out of the hands of the voters, the citizens of the city, and putting it into the city staff and the city manager and the city council. And I'm against that.
Proposition number 5. Shall Section 10, Compensation and Attendance, of the City Charter be amended to provide for an increase in annual compensation for mayor and council members to $4,200 for the mayor and $3,600 for council member, payable in accordance with current payroll practices. Most people I spoke with in regards to this proposition did not have a problem in updating the dollar amount given to the council members and mayor. But then they thought about a lot of the decisions that they had made recently for the city, and they weren't happy, and they said, no, it's not time to do that right now.
Collectively, the proposed amendments will diminish the power of the citizens of this city to govern, and it is clear to me that the intent of the people on the Charter Commission fully intended to increase the power of the poorly performing City Council and the poorly performing bureaucrats at City Hall, all to the detriment of the citizens of this town. Most of the citizens of this state do not believe that a big, intrusive, and powerful government is the answer to any of our problems. Thank you.
Proposition number 6. Shall Section 14, Vacancies, of the City Charter be amended to provide that when a vacancy in an elected office shall occur and an election is required, that the election be held on the first uniform election date under state law. This proposal could leave a district without representation for up to 6 months. And since it says any elected office, we might still have elected police chief, and that would be a terribly long time to go without someone acting as our police chief that we voted into office. I might add to that currently our current charter reads only 90 days. That is a tremendous difference, 90 days as opposed to 180.
And in particular, I want to make a remark about the police chief election. I want to see that remain elected, because in this day and time with federalization of police departments being so rampant, I feel like having an elected chief is just another measure that we can make sure that that doesn't happen in our area.
2 more propositions to go. Proposition number 7. Shall Subpart G of Section 47, Initiative and Referendum, of the City Charter be amended to allow more timely means of notification by deleting the requirements that the City Clerk shall immediately notify the Initiative or Referendum Committee of deficiencies by certified mail. Even in today's world, not everyone has an email account, so certified mail assures that everyone will receive notification. With the way the charter is written now, it does not prevent the city clerk from already notifying everyone by email while they send the certified mail as well. And now the most talked about proposition number 8. Shall section 60, Chief of Police, and 61, Qualifications, of the City Charter be amended by changing the office of Chief of Police from election to appointed, subject to approval of City Council without the 2-year residency requirement. Throughout this video, you have heard people mention their desire to maintain the right to elect our local police chief. For many, this is the only way to prevent the ultimate tyranny from local government.
Well, I'm for voting no for Proposition 8 and leaving our Chief of Police as an elected position. I believe it is part of our responsibility as citizens of San Angelo, where we work and live and raise our children, to have in mind the kind of individual who is watching over us and have a place of influence and a place to be able to select that individual. I think it falls right in line with the core democratic ideals that our foundation was built on, that it belongs, the responsibilities of choice and decision belongs with the people, and that moving this decision to a smaller group of government officials kind of, to me, just creates more big government instead of leaving it in the hands of the people. I'm for an elected chief.
These are just a few of the many citizens that are encouraging you to vote no on the proposed charter amendments. We need your vote to ensure the citizens continue to have the power to say what happens in our community and not give that power over to city government. Also on the ballot are the proposed state constitutional amendments. We encourage you to vote yes on the state constitutional amendments. Thank you for your consideration. God bless.